He was allowed on it once again and had a wonderful time. And his dragon arrows were good when they landed. A couple were a little off target, but overall his scatter arrows especially were so punishing. Able to get the perfect angles pretty much every time. Great harassment. Putting so much pressure onto Zeratul as well. Able to chase him over walls and just out of fights a lot of times. That was pretty convincing. And now it is a BTG map choice to take us to Infernal Shrines. Minimal downtime this time.
I'm loving it. I was going to say, Tetra, like, we have ourselves a speedy broadcast up to this point, and I'm loving it. Let's hope they're going to keep up this pace for the replay analysis segment as well after each series, because that was a little bit of a weakness of yesterday's broadcast. Let's put it this way. Anyways, Diablo is getting banned immediately here by CE. Thinking about it, because of Diablo being just so strong at the moment and being such high priority in China, we actually haven't seen all that many Diablo games up to this point, have we?
We have not. No, he gets banned most matches, as we've already mentioned. And here we see Maiev and Genji removed once again. Also, this now means that White Main in HGC China is now up to 3-1 in terms of win-loss ratio.
Yep, Maiev is looking good, and so does Sally Whitemane, actually leaving more and more of an impression on me. Like yesterday, when we started seeing her in HGC China at first, I was like, yeah, sure, it looks okay, but nothing to really have an everlasting impression on me. But up to this point, with A-Team yesterday busting her out with that Illidan combo, now today we see Beyond the Game already dominating with her. She's more and more growing on me. But let's see if it's going to be another Malfurion Decker Kane duel here, or if Beyond the Game is willing to shake things up a little bit here in the support meta. Like what we've seen normally here, I was going to say, yeah, Alexstrasza, Rhaegar, those would have been my personal choices as well. Some of you guys might ask yourselves, hey, why are they picking a support already first? Because the enemy team already picked Deckard, right? The thing is, obviously, if they decided to ban away the Alexstrasza, then a support choke would have actually been real with Beyond the Game, right? Because Malfurion, we said it, Tetra, still okay in other regions, but in China, he seems to be struggling quite a bit at the moment.
Yeah, he's a squishy boy, and as such, he can get into serious trouble when anyone dives him, which in HGC China is all the time. So he has serious issues, needs to be played around with multiple frontliners very effectively. So as such, Alexstrasza, especially on this map, as this is her best map, she's able to get a lot more efficiency as she's a little bit more self-sufficient. Due to the fact that she has that Dragon Queen, she has an escape tool in the form of Cleansing Flame, which is also removing her from the fight as she's applying healing while not actually putting herself in danger to the front line.
Yeah, all right. So we see the Maiev ban. We see the Jaina banned here as well, actually, which is pretty interesting. We haven't really seen a lot of focus on Jaina yesterday, despite the fact that she was available multiple times. Look at Phoenix, by the way, here. Is that just this phase, or is it the entirety of 2018 here with an 80% win rate? That is absolutely nuts. I presume it would be just this phase, though, because I can see Phoenix, such a highly or very frequently picked hero, sitting at an 80% win rate.
I assume that's just for this phase?
Yeah, I think so.
We see the firefighters coming in here, Blaze and Kael'thas. Very interesting, as this is very much a good zoning map, and of course both of them have fantastic AoE, so they're going to be able to try and snipe those shrine minions. Oktar's already got his Yrel in, so we need another range damage, or just some kind of melee assassin, whatever LLK feels like playing.
Of course, LLK is sometimes known for going for the Alarak. Not this time, though, because why would he even consider Alarak when he just had a heyday, an absolute blast here on that Junkrat last time? He was shuffling, bouncing people back into his team's backline all the time. Let's see, what was the main tank? I actually didn't catch it. What was the main tank for CE? They had Blaze, and let's see. We're gonna see the drafts on the big screen here in just a bit.
Yeah, I missed it because I was focused on the Junkrat, and I was like, they basically made almost the same draft, just swapping out the support, basically.
Because the reason why I'm asking is because I want to know what XTQ, you can see him on your screens here right now, by the way. I want to see what kind of main tank he's on right now, because if it's another immobile tank like Garrosh, who doesn't have any, disengage or any engaging tools, then he might be a little bit susceptible again to those concussion mines. However, if he has a Muradin, for example, then things might not be as dire when he ends up getting flung into the backline.
Yeah, for some reason my mind is telling me Muradin, so I believe I'm just being subliminally told by the back of my mind there. By the back of my head.
We're going to see in a bit here if they show us the drafts on the sides. Beautiful studio once again, by the way. Just have to mention it. Absolutely amazing.
As we can see that. So, in terms of zoning potential, though, CE once they have the Blaze again. It was not effective last time.
Right.
That is the concern. But this time they have Kael'thas, someone who can stay a little bit further back and just siege in against that Junkrat, try and zone him away himself. Let's see who's going to be able to do it, as it looks like we are going to be heading in to game number... It was Muradin, hooray. Into game number 2. It is BTG versus CE. See, their backs up against the wall. They so far have a grand total of 1 point and looking to gain another.
Absolutely true, and they need those points because it is time to qualify for BlizzCon, ladies and gentlemen. Beyond the game on the left-hand side, yet again with 619 Dancing, Druid, LLK, and Loktar.
And on the right, it is CE with a Lufel, XTQ, Zhuyu, KTY, and 365. 365, sorry.
Yep. It's hard to let go of old habits sometimes with Hee becoming Hoo-Hoo, and then we have 365 becoming 365. Of course, we have this feedback because Tetra was, of course, present at the previous Eastern Clash. Hold that thought. We see China at his finest, brawling in the middle, 5 versus 5, but no casualties to this one.
619 tanks through it. XTQ finds 619, but unable to make the play as Loktar gets a little bit of harassment as well. Good top to Kael'thas. How did he get there? Fantastic engage by 619, punishing the over-ambitious positioning by Zhuyu.
Sometimes, you know, when you play Kael'thas, you just want to get this one flame strike, you just want to get this one living bomb in, and that, you know, window of opportunity was enough for Beyond the Game to find this opening to not only use the Garage combo, but use the Concussion Mine immediately. Such a cool, you know, highway, whatever you want to call it. Not in a good way, though, for CE, unfortunately.
But silver lining, didn't go convection. Went for the Mana Radic instead. Quick toss, a safety toss here for 619. Wants to make sure he doesn't get himself caught. Zhuyu's already started the mercenary camp. You can see he has a nice little potion bar next to him, so he can keep himself sustained as he does this.
All right. By the way, I don't think I've ever heard the Chinese voices of the Goblin Junkrat. It just sounded absolutely hilarious. 619 tried to probably throw XTQ in the back lane, missed his combo though, unfortunately. And even then, Muradin probably would have been able to just dwarf toss to safety anyways. I'm trying to look for any unusual talents here at level 1, but up to this point, everything seems to be standard. No more Exterminator Rainer. I don't know what it was, Tetra. Maybe, you know, maybe a little bit of a mistake, a little bit of an error in the matrix. Like, why did we see so many Exterminators yesterday?
Not sure, maybe it was just the map, maybe it was just comfort, maybe it was needing more wave clear, because you do get a little bit of AoE out of it. 619 has eaten a lot of damage, but he's able to tank through it.
Alright, to this point, no casualties. Oh, actually, that one casualty, of course, we can't forget about with that Kael'thas. So, nothing major, though. Of course, First Blood in Heroes of the Storm is pretty cool to have. It's always better to get First Blood yourselves than actually have First Blood in the enemy team. But it doesn't really do a whole lot. It doesn't really set your team apart all too much. We see Behemoth Armor, by the way, yet again on Rainer, which up to this point, I think it still maintains, you know, or it's still maintaining the overall #1 choice in China from those Rainer players. Whereas in other regions, we're basically seeing other talents across the board.
With Netherwind being picked up for the Kael'thas here. Not going for I can't remember the other one. Is it Gravity Crush?
Gravity Crush? Yep. Yeah, I think you might have a point there.
Right, it's being picked more often now, but for some reason I'm blanking on it because I always just remember it as
it's Energy Royal.
Energy Royal, that's the one. One of my favorite names, actually. I'm annoyed I forgot that. We're seeing Behemoth Armor. Very sensible considering, because I've been really thinking about why players pick this over the Armor talent, because the Armor talent is better for survivability unless you're stunned. You can't use your healing anymore on Rainer if you are stunned. It's an activatable ability. It doesn't activate automatically anymore. So having more health is much better against higher CC pumps.
And of course, when you then end up getting your heal granted from Adrenaline Rush, it scales with 25% of your max health, right? So the more health you have, the better the numbers are going to be. So let's see. In the meantime, we see XTQ and a little bit of a pinch here. Jumps to safety up to this point. But it looks like they're stabilizing a little bit here. Of course, they still have to face that onslaught that is beyond the game. They still have to fight 4 versus 5 here because Blaze prefers to soak in the middle. But already, at least they're not, you know, falling victim to that Garage over and over again.
Flame Strike not landing, at least for the moment. Dancing, burning this down. 24-9 as CE retake position.
Yep.
Mid lanes are just scuppering against walls as KTY continues to soak for CE. Looks like they are not committed to winning this objective, but they are committed to delaying it as long as possible so that KTY can get maximum XP amounts.
Absolutely, and it is time for 619 to make that play happen. Juyu in no man's land. He's going to get taken out eventually with that Dragon Queen. Survives quite long, though. Oh, this
but XTQ Dwarf Doss is good, but he is getting chased down. Gets a delivery of Junkrat as the Punisher. Not even taken yet. They delay it a little bit more as finally they begin heading into lanes as well. Gate even killed off by KTY, who once again has done a fantastic job soaking for his team. But it turns out a lane or two of experience not worth 3 heroes dying and an objective being lost.
Definitely not, and it only gets worse from now for CE because that Punisher is definitely going to destroy at least 1 or 2 towers, maybe even deal some significant damage on that top board as well. Speaking of things that are in trouble, we have a Luful being flung into the backline of Beyond the Game, but he has his teleport ready to escape in the nick of time here. Look at that, though. The CC chain is real. XTQ, he's going to fall without a main tick. They can't even hold this forward tension. What is going on? CE looks so unfocused in this game.
They really are, and XTQ once again getting locked down and killed off here. Man, this is pretty rough right now as BTG take down the first fort of the game, and they are still soaking the other 2 lanes as everyone's able to rotate to mid.
See, I think it's purely communication at this point for CE because several times now we have witnessed how they had this good idea, right? They let Blaze, KTY take that double soak, try to get themselves a little bit ahead in experience, and under normal conditions, circumstances, they're going to have a good time, right? Because you're going to be able to defend that first Punisher with great ease while also having soaked the double. So you're going to actually come out ahead most of the time. But if you end up getting caught there in the top lane with a 4 versus 5 and then also lose a member defending the Punisher, you're actually going to find yourselves in a pretty sticky situation, and that's exactly what CE is currently in.
They're not out of it yet, though. They're pretty close to their level 10s. They will have a possibility to try and turn and get another fight once they have hit those level 10s. This mid lane clearing will be a big boost of experience for them. Deckard Kane solo soaking top lane is not exactly what I expected in terms of the soak, but he is now rotating. No, he doesn't know where he's going. He's finally going to join the team.
Yeah, it needs to be with the team right now because otherwise Beyond the Game might even try to get more structural value out of this. Level 10 is hit though. Phoenix, Salvo, Lornado. We have a couple of good damaging and dislocation tools now available for CE. Especially the Lornados are going to be super important to keep, you know, enemy heroes like Irel, like Garrosh at bay.
Everyone rotates to the bot lane for BTG, gonna prepare to take this camp and maybe even push in for some towers. Another little boost in experience. Noctar thinking about joining his team in case anyone raided this camp, instead decides to re-rotate to mid lane, using his Avenging Wrath as he did not need to apply armor to his team because there was no threat, so he uses it for mobility instead.
Yeah, and I want to keep a little bit of an eye here on XTQ, the main tank player for CE, because I can already imagine him being in kind of a rough spot here right now. Not only, wait a minute, 619 actually getting close to the towers here. Is he going to survive this with the help of the Dragon Queen? It looks like he is. Garrosh and Alex Cross are working together in unison. Great display, and yet again another kill against KT.
The max range toss there, really nicely done by 619. Deckard, he's given up on his minimal wave clear push. He did have pots with his team, which is good for healing, but he has no wave clear, which is why I was confused he was split pushing. Now he is with the team, trying to help them with this defense. Potion scanning them out. Good teleport away by Luful, preventing himself getting tossed again. As the mini wave comes in, KTY, fantastic job clearing this, as BTG are finally going to calm down and let this one go.
And this time we can't even say, you know, that CE is losing members, but in return they're soaking well, you know, they're trying to get that double soak in because that was actually a 4 versus 4. Locktar and that Irel is definitely keeping up here with Blaze in terms of rotations, in terms of, you know, providing a constant influx of experience as well. So not in a single aspect is this game going CE's way up to this point. Still 0 kills. 0 kills actually, not just in this game, but also in this entire series. Thatcher, the former champions of China are looking like like a helpless team of puppies right now.
They haven't taken a kill. They haven't taken a single force. Salvo comes out, though. This could be their chance. But here comes. There goes the Riptide. As Urel jumps in, trying to help out. This could be the chance. for CE to get a kill as both Urel and 619 are dropping a little bit lower, but they tank through again.
Wow.
Could this be 2 perfect games in a row for BTG?
It looks like it, Tetra, man. I think this was a pretty good fight for CE with the, you know, the one thing that didn't go their way was the fact that they didn't have 13 yet, but everything else was looking pretty solid. They had a couple of choke points, which is great for Kalphas, right? The bombs are spreading. The Phoenix is getting decent value off as well. Beyond the Game wasn't even in a way to fight grouped up here. It looks like Shuyu is yet again the focus right here. Yarush is tanking through.
Pulse. Sorry, the Lornado comes out, pushes everyone away, and the Purification Saber did a lot of damage. Lockdown may have gone a little too deep here, but he gets quick healing from Druid. Dragon Queen was used earlier, but it should be back up very soon as they begin to move forward. Good toss onto XTQ, down he goes. And, well, Bunker is dropped, but I'm not feeling good about the survivability of KTY here as Lockdown comes forward. Where's that knockback? Not even needed. He moves on to a new target. And Luful, though, clutch teleport away. 619 dropping so low, but he keeps tanking through.
What really astonishes me here, Tetra, when watching BTG, and especially their frontline, is how Loktar and 619 always seem to know when to go in without dying, right? We've seen many reckless Chinese tank players in the past that thought they could survive, they thought they could make another play, but they got punished super hard. 619 and Loktar, on the other hand, they make those plays with perfectly awareness of when to actually back off or when to still continue the chase, right? Because they have good communication with their support players. They know their own limits of that hero as well. Just look at the garage difference here. Last game we saw XTQ on it. He died over and over again. 619 on the same hero right now, absolutely crushing it.
They're pushing in through this bottom lane. The Punisher still incredibly healthy. They move forward, looking maybe for a keep here. It's still way over half health. They could absolutely push it with this. And it's going to be Muradin over the wall. Good knockback, preventing the Dwarf Dust. Has to burn Avatar.
Has to burn Avatar. Doesn't even have 60 yet, so no Stone Skin. That is Muradin saying goodbye, piecing out here. Look at that beautiful damage and knockback. The Punisher might even just say, or speak the final verdict onto Zhuyu. No, it is instead KTY that ends up falling. And Tetra, this might be the second perfect game in a row for Beyond the Game.
Dragon Queen is dropped. This might be a commitment for the core. They've got a minion wave here to take down the keep at minimum. They're able to take that down. They're positioned for a potential core push with everyone coming back in
going for it. They're going for it.
13 seconds. This is so risky. Even though they are 3 levels ahead, anytime you push in when your entire enemy team is alive, it's going to be risky as we see Blaze coming back to life.
Blaze is coming back to life indeed. It is now a 5 versus 5. The core shield hasn't been touched yet. I think Beyond the Game, they're trying to bait the enemy team out to safety, away from that core, and then trying to collapse on them.
Gravity Lamp is used, trying to focus down the Raider, but he's tanking through it so much. Locktar is causing so much disruption in the backline. They turn it round. 619 looking for a Luful. He gets him and he survives. And XTQ will get dominated by BTG. And they move on for the core for a second time.
Masterful plays here by Beyond the Game all across the board. They were like, what, you want to come out here and play a little bit with us? We're going to take your lives gladly. Look at the Reptar actually almost sealing the deal here. Beautiful Ardent Defender. And that Tetra, I think, might be the nail in the coffin finally.
That is absolutely going to be it. 1 kill. Come on. Lockdown's low. Gets rooted, but he's just too tanky. In comes Phoenix looking for the last-ditch effort, but his salvo gets interrupted. And that is GG. A second perfect game in a row for Beyond the Game.